Hello and welcome to 2021. Yay! Let's just hope that this is going to be better than last year. Starting off this year, I am actually making something that I've been wanting to make for a while. So we're making the house from the webcomic Check Please. As with the Lemise thing I did, I have no idea how many people are actually into Sims as well as into Check Please. It is a webcomic which is very dear to my heart, and I will probably talk about that a lot. I hope that's okay. So this is just the building of the house, actually. The furnishing and everything will come later. And because the building didn't take me as long, I think about an hour and a half-ish, it is only sped up to 6 times and not to 8 times. You will see me, and you have seen me, pull up a photo and a Word document with a lot of photos in there. A lot in this video, and the upcoming furnishing and detailing video. Because I had to kind of find get some sort of reference. I looked through the entire comic again, which a hot feat, I know, however will I survive doing that, to kind of try and figure out the layout of everything. There is a detailed drawing of the layout of the second floor, or well, second floor in American English, first floor in British English and also in German, because you have the ground floor and then the first floor. But yeah, so I'm going with second floor because that's what it says. I based the scale off of that, and I have to tell you, I was very frustrated at times. Because the drawings aren't consistent, which is perfectly fine. I mean, this comic, the webcomic, has been drawn for over, I don't even know how many years, I have to admit. I should have looked that up beforehand, but I didn't. For years and years and years, and it finished last year. I know that I got into it fairly soon. I got into it well, not fairly soon actually. I think around mid of year 2. So for anyone who doesn't know Check Please and is for whatever reason watching this, which is mainly my friends, hello. I know that I tried to get Yuli into it and she wasn't into it. But anyway, so for anyone who doesn't know what Check Please is, it's a webcomic. It is about Bitty, who is a baker and who is also a figure skater, and he is going to Samuel University, which has the reputation of being LGBT plus friendly, and he is there on a hockey scholarship. So the house is basically the frat house of the ice hockey team, and that is mainly what the comic is about. The comic is about Bitty learning to deal with, well, his life and himself in a way, and about growth and friendship and found family. So for everyone who's really into the found family trope, give it a go. I absolutely adore the comic. It is what got me into baking properly, and it is also what kind of, together with Yuri on Ice, got me to start ice skating in, oh dear, when? In I think 2017 it was. Yeah, because Yuri on Ice came out in 2016, so I started ice skating in March 17. So that's how long those two things have been with me. But yeah, so you just saw me pull up a ton of windows and now putting in the windows, and it was so frustrating because I didn't know where the windows would go, and I didn't know how many windows there were, because you can see it on the drawing that there are like 4 windows on the top floor. But then when you go into the comic itself, you see that where there should be a window, there isn't a window in Bitty's room, and I'm like, okay. And it also looks like on the first floor or the ground floor, there should be 3 windows, but sometimes it looks like 2 windows. And then there's just 1 window on the other side, and it was just very confusing to me. So I did the best I could. There's always creative liberty, of course. I hope I did it justice. It is really just a standard box of a house. But yeah, that's just how it is. And I also gave it doesn't have a, like the front porch, you see, the upper front porch. It's called, it's the roof. It's called the reading room in the comic. And you can only access it through Bitty's room and the other room next to it, at the front of it. So, at the front of it, the room on the right is Bitty's room, and the room next to it is, well, Jack's room, or later on the room of Chowder. And you can only access the reading room through those, but since the Sims can't climb out of windows, I figured that they would need a door, so I put in a door. And I also had to, I realized pretty quickly that I had to decide which kind of generation of the house I wanted to go with, because I can't have Nursey and Dex in there without having Chowder, which means then not having Jack and not having Shitty in there. That's his hockey nickname. I know. I was very confused at the beginning too. So I decided to go with basically the last year of Bitty, for the sole reason that I'm a Frogs kind of girl. The Frogs are, well, the newcomers, more or less. They are, well, William Poindexter, Derek Nurse, and Chris Chow. So those are the Frogs, and I love them very much. So I decided to go with them. Also because that meant that I could build Dex's house, more or less house, because he is technically supposed to share a room with Nursey, but they annoyed each other. So Dex moved into the basement and built himself a 5-star resort. So you will also see me build the basement, or build the general structure of the basement in this build, and then furnish the basement later on. But yeah, I had so much trouble with the attic because, well, it's Ransom and Holster living there, but then they are not. Then it's, oh dear, Connor and Whisk living there. Wick? No, wait, I'm so confused. No, it is Connor. Isn't it Connor? No, his name's Connor Whiskey, isn't it? I'm so confused. Anyway, so two guys in the same year as Bitty are living up there. And either way, there's people living in the attic, and I'm just not good at roofing houses in The Sims at all. Which meant that I went with a solution, thought about it for a while, hated it, looked at tutorials, looked at the Kate Emerald tutorial on building a livable attic space, and then used that one. I was very happy though to find that at least the wallpapers were in the game, because that was a good thing. Like, you could see what kind of wallpapers and floorboards they all have. So yeah, so anyway, you will see me change the attic at some point, because it's just a mess. But yeah, and also, we're not getting to that yet. We will get to that a bit later. I have no idea what one of the rooms is. one of the downstairs rooms, you can see that there is an archway in the kitchen leading to another room. And I have no idea what this room is about, because it's not the living room. And it is so confusing. I don't know for how long I stared at those images and for how long I tried to figure it out. It's oh dear. It was quite hard, actually. I was very confused. But yes. I also, well, I'm going to detail the rest of the front yard and the backyard later on. I don't think we ever really see the backyard, so I'm not sure what I can actually do with it. But yeah, we will figure something out. It's not that hard. Creative liberty and everything. But yeah, so you see me just scroll around with the Word document I have, looking at the hallway downstairs, looking at the kitchen, looking at everything, trying to figure out what everything is and where everything is. Then I thought, oh, that's great. There must be a bathroom downstairs next to the stairs. Till I figured out, wait a second. They need some way to get to the basement. And then I was confused again. And I don't think they have a downstairs bathroom. The other room can't be a downstairs bathroom because it has an archway. And it was just, I was just sitting there the entire time I did this thinking like, what is this room? What is in there? I have no idea, because the thing is that the table and the chairs and everything, so kind of like the sitting and dining area is in the kitchen. And maybe I misinterpreted it and it is actually a window, but it is not a window because the windows are white and the doors are brown. So there is a door, and I was just, to this hour, I still don't know what to do with that room. So we will see. It will probably be like a party room for all the cactus they are throwing. But yes, I try to make it even and symmetrical, which worked to some extent. Yes, that is me figuring out that, oh wait a second, I need some way to get down to the basement. Then I do that, and I'm actually kind of happy with it. And then I realize, wait, there is no more door in the hallway that we can see from the pictures from the comic. So I had no idea, and just all of it became basically the way to the basement. Yeah. And to be fair, I'm kind of happy with how it turned out so far. I actually haven't finished furnishing it. I have, to this hour, to this minute, finished furnishing all the upstairs. So it's gonna be just the downstairs after I've had dinner. Though I'm not sure I'm going to have dinner because I'm having brownies I made for dinner, basically. It's 8:15 in the evening. Anyway, so here you see me fiddling around with the roof after I have slept on it and thought that I hated the roof and that there has to be a way to make a livable attic space in Sims. And there is. I'm just not very good at it, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. There is a way. So I can really only recommend Kate Emerald's video on, I think it is roofing tips. It's also a tutorial on like attic windows and how to make attic windows. And it is very helpful, and it just gives you that little bit of realism in your houses. And I barely ever use it because it's not complicated, but I'm just not used to doing it. So yeah. It also means the way that roof has to be, it is just so huge and it looks so large, because obviously it's a full height wall and it's a room. So I made the downstairs and upstairs rooms a middle height, and then I looked at it and I was like, this is so tall. Why is it so tall? It's so weirdly tall. And I didn't like it, so I will put it down to the short wall height again. Yeah, I fiddled around with it a lot. And I got very annoyed at myself for not being good at roofing in The Sims. So I really find it tricky to roof things in Sims if it's not just your box standard house. Which is why I often have no roofs, or the like I forgot the word for it. The roof that isn't a triangle, but half a triangle. You know what I mean. I forgot the word for it. Satteldach in German. But the half of it. I know that I know the word. But yeah, anyway. We're getting to the basement. And I actually spent forever looking for that one image where you can see Dex's basement, or his 5-star resort as Bitty calls it, and I couldn't find it. I know that there is a picture where you see the outside of it, but I'm not sure if I'm just confusing it with the kind of like the one he built in his and Nursey's room, or if there was a picture of it. I was so confused. So I just kind of gave up after looking for it for like 30 minutes. I went through my entire Tumblr check please tag trying to find it, and I couldn't. So I'm not sure if I made that up, if it actually exists. So if you know if it exists, please let me know. Send me the link or let me know which comic it is. I don't think it's from the comic, I think it's from one of the extras or from one of Bitty's tweets. I don't know. I couldn't find it. I went through all the extras. Yeah, and that was very frustrating. But I just did something in the end. And I actually worked with platforms, which was nice. Because with platforms you can do a bunk bed. And I know he has a bunk bed in there. Because there is a photo of him and I think Foxtrot, right? Yes, of him and Foxtrot, where he shows the basement to Foxtrot. So I kind of worked off of that a bit, and we know he has a steam shower because that's what's also said in that bit of extra. I'm also hoping that the platforms work because I couldn't fit in stairs, and I know that James Turner had that issue as well when he built with platforms. I had hoped they'd fixed it by now, but it doesn't seem like it, so I've kind of used platforms as a ladder, not as a ladder, as steps in a way, stairs. But yeah, I've actually used platforms upstairs in Nursey and Dex's room to make a bunk bed. I also haven't figured out if that works. But well, we will see at some point. But yeah, so this is basically what it looks like. And let me know what you think. There will be at least one, there might even be 2 more videos on it. I'm not sure yet. I have to see how long it actually took me to finish the upstairs. Because it took me, I think, about 2.5, 3 hours. So, a while. And I would like to talk you through what I thought of each room. So I will probably only put it at 6 times speed. Which means that it's going to be fairly long. and I might just split it into the downstairs and the upstairs. But then we also have the basement and the attic, so I'm like, okay. But I think the downstairs will be less work than the upstairs, because the upstairs is just so full of little bits and bobs for their personalities, and based off of what we can make out from all the images in the comic. Yeah, so that is how it looks so far, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and make good choices. Goodbye.